What's up? In this video we're going to do early season goose decoying. Let's do it. So, the first spread we're going to go over is the broken V. Or, it's a good spread because it gets those family groups into the shape of a V and into the pocket that you want them to land in, or you want them to come close into so you can get a shot at them. And it makes it more realistic because during this phase of the season, or early season, they're not big, and they're not in big clusters really yet. They're all more like spread out. You can use this for how many decoys you have, because if you have, let's say, 2 dozen decoys, you can use this for 2 dozen decoys. Or if you have 100 decoys, you can make a massive broken V, or you can make a full V, which will work too. But in the early season, I like to go with more of a like broken letters, I guess you call it, like a broken V, a broken J or U. I like to go with that better because it's more realistic to that part of the season, because they're more in family groups than big clusters. So the next one I'm going to go over is the broken U. This is also a really good early season tactic, but again, you can use this in all phases of the season, early, middle, and late. This I like to use in the early season the most because it's really small spreads. You can use 2 dozen decoys, or you can use a little more. These are all family groups in the shape of a U. Your pocket will be right there. That's where you want them to land. And this too goes back to the early season, how they like to be in their family group still. And also you can modify this in any way possible. You can put a few more decoys right here, or you can like put more in the back like this, just to give it that broken look, because geese during this part of the season, they're all in their own little family groups, all in their little groups. They don't want to be bunched up together next to each other. So this is more a realistic sort of spread. Another quick tip for the broken V and U and all other early season decoying. You want your decoys, let's say around the edges, to be facing towards you. It's gonna look like there's something happening over there, and those geese flying over are gonna want to be near the action, and hopefully land or start to pump the brakes near the pocket so you can get a shot. Now, this last spread, I like to call the escape spread. This is what I like to use for the majority of all phases of the season, but you gotta modify this as the situation depends. So the escape spread, as I like to call it, is kind of like the broken V, but it's just modified because it's 1, bigger, 2, has these little family group parents on the outside to break it up a little and make it look more realistic, not like a solid letter. This is a good spread for early, late, and middle part of the season for geese. But this is a hybrid of like all the things we've been talking about. But this is for, I would say, a larger spread, but you can make this into a smaller one. But I would use this if you have a lot of decoys. But you can manage this with, like, let's say 2 dozen decoys, but in my opinion, this is best for like large spreads. This is for like 5 dozen and up decoys, if I had to put a number on how many you should do for this, but it is doable with 2 dozen. And another good thing why I like this decoy spread, and if you have multiple buddies hunting with you, if your buddy's on the right, he's got a chance at these geese, but if you're on the left, you get a chance at these geese. It gives the geese like a escape route. That's why I call it the escape spread, because it gives the geese like an option to bail out, but you want them to land in the pocket right here. Now, a really important tip is doing your scouting and finding the X where the geese want to be. Find where those geese have been feeding and where they've been landing the night before. Then get there, and if you're right on the X where they want to be, you're going to be able to kill a goose, because you're right where they want to be. And this doesn't matter if you have no decoys, very few decoys, or a lot of decoys. If you're set up where they want to be, you're going to kill geese. Or the only thing that can really mess it up is if the geese see you, then they're not even going to come, or they're not land into where you want them to be. That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Next video, we're going to go into a bit of calling, and also we're going to get back into the fishing. But besides that, I'll see y'all next video. See ya!